Hello and welcome to a shorter Granada Reports because of ITV's coverage of the World Cup. Well, first tonight, 2 men have been convicted over the death of a 13-month-old boy they were trying to adopt. Preston Davey died at Blackpool Victoria Hospital in July 2023. Schoolteacher Jamie Varley was found guilty of murder and other charges including sexual assault and taking indecent photos of Preston. His partner, John McGowan-Fazakerley, was found guilty of allowing the death of a child, cruelty and sexual assault. They'll be sentenced on Thursday. Our reporter, Zoe Muldoon, has more.
No, this is not happening. This is the Lord. This is not happening.
Jamie Varley appears to be a grief-stricken father who's just been given news no parent wants to hear. But 13-month-old Preston Davey was murdered by Varley, the man who should have done everything to protect him. The former schoolteacher, along with his partner, subjected the defenceless baby to a campaign of abuse.
The circumstances in which poor Preston Davey found himself over that 4-month reign of terror is truly horrific.
Preston, described as a beautiful, happy baby, was taken into care by Oldham Council after his birth in June 2022 and was placed with foster parents until he was 9 months old. He was adopted by Jamie Varley, seen here on the left, and John McGowan-Fazakerley, and started living at their home in Blackpool in April 2023. In the next 4 months, Preston was taken to Blackpool Victoria Hospital 3 times. The first visit was referred to hospital safeguarding.
Officers attended at the hospital as they do and is appropriate. The officers were actually turned around. In essence, didn't get to see Preston or parents. That decision was made at the hospital.
After another trip to hospital for a fractured elbow, there were 2 separate visits to the family home from 2 Oldham social workers. Neither raised any concerns. But texts between Varley and his friends showed he was struggling with being a new parent. In one message he wrote that the baby was needy and screamed all the time. In others, he made out to be the doting dad. On the 27th of July 2023, Preston was taken to hospital for a 4th and final time. Varley told police that Preston had drowned, that his death was an accident.
Because he was being sick. I thought he could have been choking on if there was water there or something like that.
There was no evidence of drowning, no evidence at autopsy that Preston had swallowed water. Wholly inconsistent. Preston Davey had been sexually abused probably twice on that particular day in really tragic circumstances, and ultimately that has contributed to his death.
Preston had 40 traumatic injuries when he died, including dozens of bruises. These were brushed off by McGowan-Fazakerley as the baby being clumsy.
You turn your back with that little one. As a boy, he moved.
The couple always denied ever harming Preston.
Well, I'll make the suggestion that you've killed him, Jamie.
You make that suggestion and I'll fight it to the day I die. Because one day, you guys will be in trouble because you are absolutely wrong. I don't know how I'm going to prove it, but you are wrong because I have not done it.
The jury were told about distressing videos found on Jamie Varley's phone, including one where Preston is laid on a bed, struggling to breathe. The court heard that this was filmed around 90 minutes before he was taken to hospital on the day he died. Other videos showed the psychological abuse that Varley inflicted upon Preston, including one where he's in a park playground being spun around, his eyes rolling back in his head. Horrific instances of psychological abuse, which police say was for no reason other than for Jamie Varley's own sordid amusement.
Jamie Varley has treated Preston as a plaything, as his property. And that poor child has been subject to a reign of terror.
Preston's death has raised questions about how this could have happened and what could and should have been done to prevent it. Those responsible for protecting Preston from pain were instead responsible for inflicting it. A life barely begun, taken far too soon. Zoe Muldoon, ITV News.
Well, after the jury delivered their verdicts, the Crown Prosecution Service, which built the case against the two defendants, gave their reaction.
This has been one of the most shocking and horrific cases I have dealt with in my career. Jamie Varley and his partner, John McGowan-Fazakerley, were entrusted with the care of baby Preston. It is difficult to comprehend how the very people who should have protected him could inflict such sickening physical and sexual abuse on an innocent child. No child should have to go through what Preston went through in the last 4 months of his life.
Well, Oldham Council remained responsible for safeguarding Preston after removing him from his birth mother. They said today they were thankful his abusers had been convicted. A spokesperson added, an independent child safeguarding practice review is already underway, which will examine the handling of Preston's safeguarding. Our thoughts remain with Preston's family, loved ones, and the many people affected by this case. More of the day's news now, and